Hello. In this video, I'm going to show you how to import a batch of images into Lightroom Classic and export them, changing the file names, extensions, and type. So I'm going to open Lightroom Classic on a Mac. And this is what you should see. Empty screen, it may say click to import or something like that because I've already imported, and here it says no photos in previous import. There are multiple ways to select import. You can go to the file menu and import from here. There's also the shortcut of the Shift Command and I, or you can click the bottom left where it says import in Lightroom Classic. So we're going to choose that one. It's the most intuitive because it's the one you can see as soon as you open the software. From here, you can import images directly from a camera you have connected to the computer, from a hard drive, from a card reader with your SD card attached, or a thumb drive. I've already uploaded the photos onto my desktop, so I'm going to be accessing from the index here on the left file menu. I'm going to choose the folder where I've already selected these images. And from there, all of the images on your card will pop up and they will automatically all be selected. If you've done multiple shoots on the card, you can deselect the images you don't want to import. Since I've already played around with these, I'm going to deselect those. These are headshots for our staff directory that a student photographed for me today. And you'll notice that the extension on these is filename.nef. That is a Nikon RAW file. Lightroom is a great software to use if you're simply taking images you shot in RAW, which is great that this student is shooting RAW. I encourage everybody to shoot RAW all the time, and then batch export them as JPEGs, which can be opened on any platform, whereas RAW files need special software to be able to open them. From there, once you see all the images and have the images selected that you want to import into Lightroom, you go ahead and click import on the right-hand side, lower right-hand side. The files are now imported. From here, we can assume that you may do lots to these images. You may take them into the develop mode and go through one by one and make changes to these images, right? So let's just pretend we've done all of that, and now we're at our last step where we want to go ahead and export these completed images. So you choose the first file. I do it down here from this menu bar. Click on image 1, hold down your shift key, and then click on the last image that you want to export. And then you go ahead and click export in the lower left-hand corner. From here, you're going to see this dialog box. It's telling you you want to export 16 files. Sounds good. And you just read through each section. Where is this export location? Where do you want these images to go? You can choose different areas. I always choose to put them back in the same folder as the original photo, but in a subfolder. So I'm going to select the subfolder. It will not have that selected as a default. And then you can go ahead and rename it whatever makes sense to you. So I'll just call this Rose Headshots MTCC JPEGs. I do that because I know that these are going to be converted when I resave them right now as from NEF RAW files to JPEGs. From here, we go to the file renaming. So for those of you taking my courses at MTCC, you're just going to choose custom name. I won't go through what all of these other different custom names mean right now. We're just going to choose custom name. When I'm doing this for myself, I choose custom name with original file number. The reason I do that is because once you've renamed it, it's very hard to identify what the original file number was. So if you keep the original file number in there, you can always pair up the exported JPEG with the original RAW file very easily. And because I always shoot RAW, that's an important step for me. Here you're going to do custom name, and the way we've asked you to do it is your first and last name. So you see, you just type first and last name, no spaces, Rose Jerome, and say the assignment is framing. You can put, you don't always have to write the whole word like framing. You can write frame, and then from here, I apologize, custom name plus sequence. So custom name dash sequence, because you're going to want the sequence number for your images. So custom text is Rose Jerome, and then the assignment name frame, and then go ahead and start the number at number 1. You're usually only turning in 1 to 10 images max at a time, so you really don't need to do 01 or 001. I only do that when I might have hundreds of images, but we're just going to do 1 for now. And you'll see this is the example of how it's going to be renamed. Rose Jerome Frame -1. That's how we want to see it. The next important thing for you to do is to resize your images. So you're going to keep the file setting, image format JPEG, the quality put at 80. That's 8. It says in your syllabus at compression level 8. That is equivalent to the quality at 80. You can leave the color space as sRGB. And then you're going to click on the next area, image sizing, resize to fit. And on the longest edge, you want it to be 1800. So since we are looking at these vertical images here, I know that the long edge is the height, and I want that to be 1800. And that should automatically resize the width. You can keep the resolution at 150, or I don't have that in the syllabus, but for us, you can resize it to 150. Yeah, you can leave it at 300. It's a little overkill for the screen, but it looks bigger when we view them for our critiques. From here, you can ignore all the rest. You don't need to be sharpening. You don't need to be appending metadata from here, or watermarking, or doing any post-processing. You're done. All you want to do is change the name, change the location of where it's going, and the image size, and the file extension. So the format is going to change from NEF to JPEG. And now you click export, and you'll notice there's a status bar up here in the left that will show you when it's finished. And from there, you can go and double check, where did I send these files? So I'll shrink this menu. I will show you my desktop icons. I put them into the original folder. When I double click on that, we should now see a subfolder, if it's going to let me open this. So you can see all the original files, but here's my subfolder, Rose Headshots, JPEGs. And then here's the JPEGs, beautifully renamed, Rose Jerome Frame 1 through 16. You can check that they're resized because you can see over here, if you look at an original file, we're looking at 24 megabytes. Now you can see that these are down to 532. The dimensions are 1200 by 1800. So what you'll notice there is I left the width empty, because it will automatically resize proportionally once you choose the longest edge to be 1800. So the longest side of the image, if it's a vertical, that's going to be your height. If it's a horizontal, that's going to be your width. I hope that helps. If you have any questions, of course, always email me and let me know. Thanks. Bye.